Part 5, A Clash with Heaven and Earth. While the peace conference quelled Kakebiel's warmongering, the supernatural world was far from calm. Word reached Kua of a brewing battle between the White Dragon Emperor, Vali Lucifer, and various factions. Vali sought to challenge the leaders of heaven and the underworld, driven by an obsession with proving his strength. His balance breaker, divine dividing, allowed him to have his opponent's power and add it to his own. Azazel warned Riaz that Vali had set his sights on Goku. He always goes after the strongest. Azazel explained. He'll want to test himself against you. But be careful, Vali's sacred gear is unpredictable. Goku grinned at the prospect of a strong opponent. He told Riaz he would handle it, but not before ensuring his friends could protect themselves in case he was drawn away. Goku's training intensified. He sparred with Akino, teaching her to fuse lightning with ki blasts. He coached Asia in focusing her healing powers to cure injuries without exhausting herself. He taught Kaneko a form of ki-infused martial arts that allowed her to strike with minimal wasted movement, utilizing her Nakamata reflexes. Riaz refined her destructive magic into pinpoint beams rather than wide swathes. Sona joined occasionally, absorbing knowledge like a sponge. Their camaraderie blossomed into trust. Goku also sat with Asia, Kaneko, and Zenobia Corda, a church exorcist turned devil who had recently joined Riaz's peerage. Zenobia, with her bluntness and sword Durandal, reminded Goku of Vegeta's pride and Gohan's single-mindedness. She asked if he believed in gods. Goku replied that he had met gods, some kind, some indifferent, some destructive, but that power didn't make someone worth admiring. What mattered to him was the heart. The day Vali arrived, clouds above Kua churned with divine energy. Vali descended in white armor that contrasted with his silver hair and serene smile. Beside him hovered his team. Bikao, a monkey-tailed Yauke who immediately challenged Goku. Arthur Pendragon, wielding the holy sword Excalibur ruler. Lefay Pendragon, a witch with a mischievous glint. And Fenrir, the giant wolf from Norse myth, restrained by a magical chain. Vali greeted Goku with unexpected politeness. Son Goku, he said, we share a namesake from myth. I wonder if you live up to it. Goku laughed. I've heard stories of the Monkey King, but I'm just a Saiyan, he replied. Vali's eyes gleamed. Then let us dance. Their battle shook the countryside. Vali's divine dividing attempted to have Goku's power, but Goku adapted. Each time Vali siphoned energy, Goku drew on the infinite well of ki he had cultivated over years. He kept his form base intentionally, gauging Vali's speed and strategy. Meanwhile, Bikao attacked, stretching his staff like the legendary Sun Wukong. Goku blocked with ease, amused by the parallel to his own namesake. You're pretty good, Goku complimented, but I know a few more tricks. He demonstrated the aftermage technique, leaving Bikao swinging at clones. Arthur Pendragon tested Goku's reflexes, slicing through rocks and creating gusts of holy wind. Goku caught his sword lightly, careful not to break it out of respect. Lefay conjured binding magic, which Goku shrugged off with a laugh. As the fight escalated, Vali's armor evolved, signifying his balance breaker. He slashed twice, having Goku's strength, and then having it again. For most opponents, this would spell defeat. Goku simply smiled and breathed. He tapped into Ultra Instinct's base form, a state where his body moved independent of thought. Silver light flickered around him as he dodged effortlessly. Vali, exhilarated, pushed himself further. For hours they fought, trading blows that no human eyes could follow. In the end, Vali collapsed from exhaustion, laughing. You truly are beyond reason, he gasped. I will train until we can fight again. Goku offered him a hand up. Any time, he said earnestly. Their rivalry blossomed into respect. The battle's aftermath drew more attention. Office, the Ouroboros dragon, a being of infinite power who existed outside of good and evil, appeared before Goku. She was small in stature, with long black hair and blank eyes, but her presence eclipsed even Vali's. She regarded Goku curiously. You smell like nothing and everything, she said. You could rival Great Red. Great Red, the dragon of dragons who dwelled in the dimensional gap, was considered unbeatable. Office sought to reclaim her home from him. Goku smiled and offered a friendly fist bump. I'm not interested in ruling anything, he said. I just like fighting strong people and eating good food. Office blinked and, in a rare display, smiled faintly. She asked if she could watch his fights. Goku agreed. With Office's interest came new complications. The Chaos Brigade, a group of rebels spanning multiple mythologies, wanted to exploit her power. Goku promised to protect her, making her part of his growing circle. For the first time, Office felt something akin to friendship. Back at Kua, the members of the Occult Research Club received the news of Goku's duel with a mix of awe and exasperation. Akino scolded him for going alone, even if she knew he could handle himself. Kaneko sat on his lap and scowled until he promised to take her next time. Asia hugged him tightly, grateful he was unharmed. Riaz looked at him with a combination of pride and worry. She realized that being the partner of someone like Goku meant embracing a life of constant peril and exhilaration. Her feelings for him deepened, but she struggled to articulate them. For now, she cherished his laughter echoing through the mansion and the way he made even gods reconsider their paths. Part 6. The cosmos trembles and hearts stir. As Goku's reputation transcended worlds, more mythological factions sought his presence. The Norse gods invited him to Asgard to help contain Fenrir's siblings, Skull and Hati, who threatened to devour the sun and moon. The Greek pantheon requested his aid against Typhon's resurgence. Even Japanese yake courted him, offering sake and stories in exchange for training tips. Goku politely declined most invitations, focusing on his friends in Kua. However, he could not ignore a plea from Rosweiss, a Valkyrie assigned to Rias' peerage as a teacher. Rosweiss lamented that she was considered a bargain Valkyrie because she had been sold to Odin for cheap. Goku listened sympathetically and told her that her worth wasn't determined by price tags or titles. He offered to train with her. Rosweiss, a master of rune magic, appreciated his sincerity. They spent days studying runes and ki, discovering ways to infuse ancient spells with raw energy. Her scholarly nature and his unorthodox approaches complemented each other. Rosweiss found herself laughing more than she had in years. Meanwhile, Goku's presence influenced the harem dynamics developing around him. In the original high school DxD, Issei's perversion attracted many women who appreciated his honesty about desire. With Goku, admiration stemmed from his purity and heroism. Riaz, Akino, Kaneko, Asia, Zenovia, and now Rosweiss each developed feelings that ranged from affection to love, but none dared confess directly. They competed subtly for his attention. Akino would braid his hair while teasing him with innuendo, laughing when he took her words at face value. Kaneko would sit on his shoulder during walks, pouting when someone else occupied the spot. Asia insisted on cooking for him, determined to master Saiyan-sized portions. Riaz found excuses to study ki with him late at night, their fingers brushing accidentally on the page. Goku, oblivious, enjoyed their company equally. He loved his friends, without hierarchy, seeing them as comrades first. This frustrated and delighted them. They realized that winning his heart required patience and honesty. Amid these interpersonal developments, a cosmic tremor rippled through dimensions. Zeno, the Omni King of all universes, sensed Goku's absence and dispatched Grand Priest to investigate. The Grand Priest appeared before Whis, who had been monitoring Goku's antics with a mix of amusement and concern. Whis explained that Goku had slipped into another reality through a cosmic fault line. Zeno, curious rather than angry, peered into the DxD universe and giggled at the chaotic harem antics. "Oh, Saiyan with devil girls," he exclaimed. "This is fun." He decided not to retrieve Goku yet, intrigued by how this adventure would play out. He did, however, send Whis to deliver a message. If Goku ever wanted to return, he could. Whis visited Kua in a burst of rainbow light, appearing in the clubroom while everyone was drinking tea. Riaz nearly fainted from the divine pressure. Whis greeted them politely and relayed Zeno's message. Goku bowed respectfully to his mentor. Whis inspected the devils with curiosity, noting their horns and wings. He teased Goku, saying that he seemed to be enjoying himself among beautiful women. Goku blushed and stammered that he was just training. Whis winked and told him to call if he wanted to return. Riaz, overhearing, felt a pang. Would Goku leave them behind someday? She resolved to make his time with them meaningful so that he would want to stay. Later, Goku took a walk in the moonlit courtyard. Riaz joined him, wearing a simple dress instead of her usual uniform. They spoke of their dreams. Riaz desired to build a peerage, defined by love and respect rather than status. Goku yearned to fight strong opponents and protect his friends. The conversation drifted to more personal matters. Riaz asked what love meant to him. Goku admitted that he had grown up with combat as his language. he loved his family, but romance had always been secondary. Rhea smiled sadly. Perhaps, she said, you'll learn there are many kinds of strength. She placed her hand over his, and for the first time, Goku felt his heart skip. He looked at Rhea's, seeing not just a comrade, but a beautiful woman with hopes and vulnerabilities. He didn't have a name for the warmth that spread through him, but he knew he wanted to protect it. Part 7, Facing the Apocalypse. Peace never lasted long in Goku's life. Soon after Whis' visit, news of an existential threat reached Kua. Trihexa, also known as 666, a monstrous beast capable of destroying entire worlds, had awakened. In the original timeline, it had taken the combined might of the biblical God, the original Satans, and powerful dragons to seal it. Now the seal had weakened. Great Red, the self-proclaimed dragon of dragons, fought Trihexa in the dimensional gap but struggled to restrain the beast alone. Surzeches called Rhea's urgently. We need your Saiyan, he said bluntly. Goku understood the gravity. If Trihexa broke free, it would rampage through multiple dimensions, ending countless lives. He agreed to help without hesitation. Rhea's, Aquino, Sona, Azazel, and their allies convened a war council. They discussed plans to evacuate civilians, reinforce barriers, and provide support. Goku prepared mentally. He had fought gods and erased universes, but this foe was unique. A primordial force of destruction, with no consciousness to appeal to. He knew he would have to go all out. Rhea's pulled him aside and pressed a communication crystal into his hand. So we can hear your voice, she whispered, eyes glistening. Goku nodded, placing his other hand over hers. Goku teleported to the dimensional gap, a swirling void filled with colors and energies beyond comprehension. Great Red, a colossal crimson dragon, clashed with Trihex's multiple serpent heads and writhing tentacles. Each impact sent shockwaves across dimensions. Great Red roared, acknowledging Goku. Saiyan, ready to dance with death? He boomed. Goku grinned. Always. He powered up, skipping past Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue to Ultra Instinct. Silver light enveloped him. His hair remained black but shimmered with ethereal sheen. His eyes turned metallic silver. He breathed in sync with the universe. Goku and Great Red moved as one, weaving around Trihex's limbs. Goku struck pressure points, forcing energy to disperse harmlessly. He channeled Kamehameha waves into tiny beams that pierced Trihex's hide without causing collateral damage. Great Red unleashed roars of draconic magic. Still, Trihexa regenerated, its chaos unending. Goku realized he needed to draw on something deeper. He thought of all the people depending on him: Rhea's, Aquino, Kaneko, Asia, Sonovia, Rosweiss, Sona, Whis, even Zeno watching from afar. He let their faces fill his heart. Love and friendship flowed into his ki, merging with Ultra Instinct. For a moment, he transcended physicality. He became a conduit of harmony. He unleashed something new, Divine Saiyan Instinct, a state where his compassion amplified his power. His aura turned gold and silver simultaneously, and his punches sang. Trihexa howled as each blow stripped away layers of chaos. Great Red, inspired, channeled his own energy into Goku, creating a swirling vortex around Trihexa. Finally, with a cry that echoed across dimensions, Goku delivered a final strike, sealing Trihexa in a sphere of light. The beast shrunk, condensed, and vanished into a pocket dimension created by the combined will of everyone who believed in peace. Exhausted but victorious, Goku floated alongside Great Red. The dragon laughed. I see why Office is interested in you, he said. You fight with joy. Goku thanked him and returned to Kua. When he reappeared in the clubroom, bruised and glowing, his friends rushed to him. Asia healed his injuries, tears streaming down her face. Rhea's hugged him tightly, her hands shaking. You did it, she whispered. Goku smiled and pressed his forehead to hers. For a moment, the world faded, leaving only the two of them. The terrifying battle had crystallized his feelings. He realized that beyond fighting and training, he had found a home here. Part 8. Journeys through Myth and Heart. After Trihex's defeat, a cautious calm enveloped the supernatural world. Goku could have returned to his universe, but he chose to stay. He felt responsible for the people who had come to rely on him, yet he also longed to understand the diverse mythologies that had crossed paths in Kua. Rhea's encouraged him to explore, assuring him that the club would be safe. With her blessing, Goku embarked on a series of journeys, each accompanied by one or more of his friends. First, he traveled to Asgard with Rosweiss and Kaneko. Odin, the All-Father, greeted them with mead and curiosity. He challenged Goku to lift Mjolnir, Thor's legendary hammer. Goku lifted it effortlessly, unaware of the enchantment that only the worthy could wield it. Thor laughed heartily and declared him an honorary thunder god. Rosweiss blushed, proud to introduce her mentor to her homeland. They helped train the Einherjar and reigned in Fenrir's siblings. Kaneko bonded with Garm, the guardian hound of hell, discovering a softness beneath its ferocity. Next, Goku visited Mount Olympus with Akino and Zenobia, the Greek gods had heard of, the Saiyan who defeated Titans. Zeus boomed with laughter, slapping Goku's back so hard that lightning crackled. Athena challenged him to a chess match, testing his strategy. Aphrodite observed how oblivious he was to the adoration around him and giggled. During their stay, Akino confronted her heritage. She was half fallen angel and half human, and she had always carried guilt. Goku told her that one's lineage did not define them, actions did. Their bond deepened as they fought a revived Typhon together. Combining Akino's lightning and Zenovia's holy sword with Goku's ki, Zeus granted them his blessing, promising to support the peace treaty. Goku's final journey led him to Japan's spiritual realm with Rias and Asia. They met Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and Susanoo, the storm god. Amaterasu radiated warmth, sensing the purity of Goku's heart. She asked him to help quell a rampaging Yauke. During the battle, Asia prayed, her sacred gear glowing with gentle light. She called upon the blessings of both God and the Buddhas, bridging religions through her compassion. Goku realized that Asia's quiet strength was as formidable as any warrior's. Rias watched as Goku helped a group of mischievous kitsune, his laughter echoing in the bamboo forest. She felt a tug of jealousy and love, recognizing that his kindness was boundless. Upon returning to Kua after each journey, Goku brought back stories and souvenirs. He presented Sona with a rune of water from Asgard to help with her studies. He gave Kiba a replica of Achilles' sword forged by Hephaestus, and he gifted Kaneko a necklace with a fox charm. These tokens symbolize the connections he forged across mythologies. More importantly, they marked his growing realization that the world of high school DxD was not simply a pit stop. It was a tapestry of lives interwoven with his. He felt responsible for the happiness of his friends. As he recounted his adventures, he noticed the way Ria's eyes lingered on him, the way Akino's laughter softened, and the way Asia clutched her rosary and smiled. He understood that he had to confront his own feelings soon. Part 9, Confessions Under the Stars. Months passed, and summer enveloped Kua in a warm embrace. The Occult Research Club planned a festival to celebrate the peaceful alliances among the factions. Stalls lined the courtyard, offering food from different mythologies. Students and supernatural beings mingled, sharing laughter and tales. Goku manned a booth with Kaneko, cooking takoyaki so quickly that his hands blurred. Rias and Sona organized a joint performance, blending traditional Japanese dance with devilish magic. Akino orchestrated fireworks that painted the sky with lightning dragons. Asia set up a healing station for minor injuries. Zenobia brought watermelons and a sword for splitting them. Rosweiss lectured anyone who would listen about Norse runes. The festival symbolized how far they had come from the day Goku arrived, clueless at the gates. As night fell, lanterns lit the campus. Music drifted, blending human instruments with angelic choirs and demonic bass. Goku sat beneath a cherry blossom tree, watching as fireflies danced. One by one, the girls he cared about approached. Asia arrived first, kneeling beside him. She thanked him for teaching her that kindness and strength could coexist. She confessed that she loved him, not just as a savior, but as a man who had given her a family. Tears glistened in her eyes, but she smiled. Goku took her hand and admitted that her gentle heart inspired him. He couldn't imagine life without her. They hugged, sealing a bond of affection that transcended words. Next came Kaneko, carrying a tray of sweets. She presented it to Goku without meeting his eyes. "You always pet my head like I'm a cat," she mumbled. "It's annoying. I hate it." Goku laughed softly and apologized. Kaneko huffed. "But," she added, "I'd miss it if you stopped." She stared at him with golden eyes. "I care about you, and not just as a leader." Goku scratched his cheek, flustered. He admitted that he felt protective of her and enjoyed their quiet moments. Kaneko nodded, content with his honesty. She offered him a sweet, and they shared it. a silent understanding forming. Akino approached with a playful smile, but serious eyes. She knelt on the other side of Goku, and ran a hand through his hair. "I've tried to entice you 1,000 times, she said. "Yet you never take the bait. Is it because I'm half-fallen angel? Or because you're naive?" Goku looked at her earnestly. "I've never judged you for your blood," he said. I didn't understand what you wanted." Akino chuckled sadly. "I want what the others want. Your heart." She leaned forward and pressed a gentle kiss to his forehead. She told him she loved him, not for his strength but for his ability to make her smile despite her pain. Goku promised he would always be there to make her smile. Akino accepted his answer, knowing that he needed time to translate his feelings into words. Rosweiss came last, carrying a book of runes. She blushed furiously, admitting that she had fallen in love during their studies. She said she admired his mind as much as his fists. Goku thanked her and confessed that her intelligence made him feel safe when he was lost. He promised to study runes with her forever. Rosweiss laughed through tears. Finally Riaz arrived, wearing a kimono with a Gremory crest. She sat close, their knees touching. "I've been selfish," she admitted. "I brought you into my world because I wanted to protect my family and my freedom. But along the way, I realized something else. I love you, Goku. Not as a peerage member, not as a savior, but as the man who makes me feel alive." Goku's heart pounded. He looked into her eyes and saw vulnerability and strength. He reached out and cupped her cheek. "Riaz," he whispered, "you showed me a world where even devils can be kind. I don't know much about romance, but I know I don't want to lose you." They kissed under the stars, a tender, chaste kiss filled with promise rather than heat. The other girls watched, some smiling, some tearful, all accepting that their love was a shared tapestry rather than a rivalry. They agreed to support each other, forging a family bound by affection and respect. Goku realized that love could be as multifaceted as a battle, challenging, unpredictable, and rewarding. Part 10. A future forged together. The confession night changed the dynamics of the occult research club, but rather than creating tension, it fostered unity. Goku and his friends openly discussed their feelings and boundaries. They decided on a partnership that was unconventional but honest, a harem in the purest sense, built on mutual respect. Goku loved each woman differently. Rias's passion, Akino's playfulness, Kaniko's steadfastness, Asia's purity, Zenovia's devotion, Rosweiss's intellect. They in turn supported one another rather than competing. It was unusual, but their world already defied conventions. They forged their own. With emotional matters clarified, the club refocused on improving the world. Riaz and Sona campaigned for reforms in the devil hierarchy, advocating for merit over pedigree and encouraging peerages to treat their pieces as family rather than servants. Akino started a program teaching fallen angels and devils to harness lightning and ki together, bridging gaps between factions. Kaniko worked with Yaokei leaders to build safe zones for stray Yaokei. Asia opened a clinic that served humans and supernatural beings. Rosweiss wrote new textbooks that combined runes with ki theory. Zenovia trained future exorcists to think critically, rather than blindly follow doctrine. Goku, at the heart of these initiatives, served as a symbol of unity. He visited war-torn regions with Azazel and Michael, using his presence to negotiate ceasefires. He mediated disputes among dragons. He sparred with Great Red and Office for fun, ensuring they remained allies instead of threats. He even took time to teach children at Kwa about martial arts and kindness. Eventually, Whis returned with a question: would Goku remain in the DxD universe or return home? Goku gathered his friends and explained the situation. He missed Gohan, Vegeta and Earth, but he had built a life here. Riaz took his hand. "We'll support whatever you choose," she said, though her eyes betrayed hope. Goku thought of Chi-Chi and his sons, realizing he had responsibilities in both worlds. He asked Whis for a compromise. Together they devised a method for Goku to travel between universes at will, using an anchor created from the Dragon Balls and Office's infinite power. Goku could spend time in his home universe, ensuring his family there was cared for, and return to Kua to continue his adventures. Whis agreed, amused by the solution. The final scene of this saga unfolded years later. Kua Academy flourished, now openly accepting supernatural students. Children with devil wings studied alongside human teens. The Occult Research Club expanded, taking in new members who were inspired by its founders. At the center of it all, Goku stood with his extended family. He watched his sons spar with Kaniko's siblings, laughed as Akino and Rias competed in friendly games, and smiled as Asia healed a scraped knee. He had become a bridge between universes, mythologies and hearts. He was still the carefree, battle-loving Saiyan introduced on that fateful day, but he had also grown into a man who understood love in its many forms. As the sun set behind Kua, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Goku whispered a quiet thank you to the forces that had thrust him into this world. He knew adventures would continue, new threats, new allies, new discoveries, but he was ready, with a harem of remarkable women by his side, friends across mythologies, and the ability to traverse universes. Son Goku embraced a future forged not only by fists and energy blasts but by hearts and promises.